Welcome back to another Sunday video, not a Sunday walk video. But there are a few things I wanted to talk about for this coming week. Obviously, what to expect. Give you a little update on why we had that sudden little, red that we experienced today. What's going on with that, and talk about several altcoins, right? Obviously, I put out a video yesterday kind of recapping what happened last week, some of the coins that I'm focusing on, that I'm buying on, that I'm recommending. So hopefully you guys watched that video yesterday. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. First things first, I think a lot of you guys noticed earlier this afternoon we had this like little dip, okay? Bitcoin fell down to like 110. Now it's recovered back up to like 113, 114. It's still a little bit lower than yesterday. It was at like 115, right? But like, why do we have that sudden dip? And then all the alts kind of followed it and kind of recovered back up right afterwards. Turns out some whale that held 170,000 plus Bitcoin decided to sell 24,000 Bitcoin all at once. No reason, no explanation. Really, no one knows why. Selling 24,000 Bitcoin in one shot. Yeah, that's what caused it. A lot of people were blaming. I was watching on X. A lot of people blaming Binance and how they were selling. No, they were just selling because they were panic sellers. We had $250 million of the longs liquidated. A lot of people were selling off some of their alts, mostly because Bitcoin dropped all of a sudden. This guy still holds like 150,000 Bitcoin, right? So obviously some mega whale. They did it on HTX. The Bitcoin was deposited 6 years ago. No idea why, but they still hold, what? Billions of billions. I think they still hold like $17 billion of the Bitcoin. It's crazy amount, but they sold 24,000. They sold like a huge chunk out of nowhere. Anyways, no reason why. It could be because they wanted to get into alts, honestly. The reason why I say that, because last week we also saw some mega whale sell off like $100 million of the Bitcoin and went long on ETH. And they went long on ETH, a 10x long on ETH at 4,300, and today it's 4,800, and they're closing a lot of their longs. So obviously they did a crazy swing trade, and they were right. But now we're hearing more and more about these giant whales with enormous amount of Bitcoin, and they're selling off not because they're bearish. It's because they're trying to get into alts. Today's a little bit different. Today's sell was even more, a lot more than last week. And again, why a mysterious whale would do it now, or why such a big chunk, why not do an OTC or spread it out, goes to show you, sometimes these guys, they just don't have the patience, or they don't have the brain, that they're just dumping. They don't understand what they're doing. But the good thing is, you know what? The market ate it up, so that's less, 24,000 less Bitcoin to be dumped, and you got all the alts recovering. ETH is back to 4,800, so it's closing in at its all-time high again. Sol is really starting to move now. It's almost at 210. I think it's like at 208 right now, so it's getting closer and closer. It's not that far off from its previous high that it formed earlier this year. Right? It's starting to climb, so watch out. I've been telling you guys, don't give up on ETH. It underperformed a little bit, starting to catch up a lot. That was the whole point of my video yesterday about ETH and Sol and the infrastructure plays within. So yeah, the good thing is, the market's eating up any kind of these dumps. These dumps are substantial. If we had this happen like in the last cycle or the cycle before, we would see like a 20% drop. Like instantly, right? The fact that we had just like a 3% drop, and we pretty much recovered, shows you how strong things are right now. All right, as for this coming week, what to expect? Wednesday, NVIDIA, well, we have several, economic reports coming out, but the big ones, Wednesday, we will have NVIDIA's earning. I know that has nothing to do with really crypto at all, but everyone's looking, they're the leaders right now, right? They are the leader of the AI space and pretty much the tech space, and they're the biggest company on the planet. So all eyes are on NVIDIA right now to see how well their earnings are, and it could really carry the tech sector. I expect this week to be good overall because of, again, last week, because of Powell and Jackson Hole, but there may be some profit taking early, like Monday or Tuesday, leading up to Wednesday. But if NVIDIA has a tremendous report, it's going to carry tech even higher. So there's that. Thursday, we're going to get a GDP report and a jobless claims, right? The big controversy with jobless claims was from last month and how it got revised. Last 3 months have been revised, and the jobs are just bad overall. We didn't add a whole lot of jobs. So jobless claims is kind of like measuring that, but it's also measuring like unemployment and stuff like that. Let's see if things tick upwards or not. It could have a big difference. So if it does, then it could actually help us get that 50 basis point, right? If we see jobless claims go up and unemployment go up, we'll see. So that comes out. And then also on Thursday, what else comes out on Thursday? GDP. We already know GDP is underperforming, going down. Economic activity is going down. We'll see if that recovers back up. So it could. But again, if we have fantastic GDP, it's probably not a good thing. We probably just want in line or slightly below expectations. So again, it helps push for the case of a 50 basis point cut in September, right? And then Friday, we will get another inflation report, PCE. Right? Last few inflation reports we've gotten mixed. CPI came in under. We had PPE. I forgot. Is PPI? No, PPI went way above. So PCE is a little bit different. And we'll see if it's a mix or what's going on. But basically, we're going to get another of that. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. Several big macro stuff, right? Doesn't mean that it could be bad. It has to be bad. It could be, but it could also be good. So some of these bad numbers actually turns out to be good for markets and rate cuts, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think overall this week is going to be good. Continuation off of last week. And then maybe once we get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, things slow down, maybe a little volatility. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, we see a little profit taking because of Friday, but I don't think so because prior to Friday, we had 5 straight days of red. So we definitely didn't recover everything. So I do think that we'll probably continue on. We'll probably get a few more green days. And as for crypto, altcoin season is definitely heating up. So I expect Sol to continue its momentum now. ETH is still hot, but many other L1s, I think they're going to start ticking upwards. Investors always look at what's next, right? Everyone's speculating. So a lot of the L1s from previous cycles that haven't hit a new high or come close to it, you may start see momentum and money shift into them, right? I saw a clip today. I don't know when Charles Hoskinson actually streamed it, but someone asked him about Cardano and how it's underperforming, how it's not close to all-time high yet. And Charles was very frustrated, saying, well, if you look at the last year performance, we're up 150-something%. That even outperforms Bitcoin. And we have done so much. Midnight is coming, and we have a great ecosystem, and TVL is growing, and he was just getting frustrated, right? Obviously, he doesn't control the price. But there are a lot of people that are looking at a lot of the L1s and L2s from previous cycles that were a lot higher and they're still nowhere close to it, right? So you could say, well, they're underperforming price-wise. But it also presents an opportunity, because I think as we grow heavier into altcoin season and you see more and more money come in, speculators are going to look at these coins and say, well, Cardano is still down 50% from its all-time high, or 60, 70%, right? Makes it undervalued, or yeah, undervalued right now. And then there may be others that are still way down. Chainlink is another one, right? AVAX is another one. Some of these are still down 70, 80, 90%. Even though there's a selective few that have done really well, vast majority of alts still suffer. And they're nowhere close to even the December, January high we had earlier this year, and further away from their all-time high in 2021. So there are still a lot of bargains out there. A lot of you guys may be wondering if it's too late to shift or too late to buy. No, because there are a lot out there. That was the point of my video yesterday. So again, if you didn't watch it, make sure you do so. Anyways, I'm looking forward to this week. I think it's going to be a very good week. I don't see anything really disrupting things. Maybe we get, you know, more reports about ceasefire in Europe. That would be awesome too. I guess we'll see. All right, that's it, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.